Welcome to the Social Stack, your go-to network for social media based in technology for your real estate business. I'm Amy Stack, and today we are going to be going over video in your business. We're going to talk about tricks or tips to get started and some different tricks you can do to up your game if you're already using video. So if this is something that sounds interesting to you and you would like to learn more about similar topics, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and then click the bell icon to make sure you get notified when any new videos go live. All right, let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I just want to make sure that you guys can see it, and you should be able to see it now. Do you see video in your business? I see a thumbs up. Thanks, Kelly. All right, perfect. So let me open my chat. I see a question came in here, or just somebody said yes. Thank you, Melissa. All right, so let's get started. You guys like my cute little picture? I'm not blonde, but we can pretend that's me, right? The first thing I want you guys to know, and I really want this to sink in, is that anytime you're thinking about video and technology or in your business, you just want to start doing it, okay? You want to start before you're ready. You're going to think like, I got to buy the camera, I got to do this, I got to do that. Just start. If you never start, you're just going to get caught up in all the things of planning out the process. You just want to go. If you have one of these, which I think all real estate agents have a smartphone, you have enough to get started, okay? So that's all you need to do to get going. And like I said, if you never start, then you're never going to start. So it's important that when you think you want to do it, you just go. Just hit the record button. You can always delete it. You can record again. You can just leave it and get yourself 1% better with every video, okay? It's fine. People, when you are just starting out, you're not going to have a huge following, and that's okay, because the people that are watching are going to be the people that you know, like, and trust, and know, like, and trust you, and they're going to give you good feedback, and they're not going to tell people to come watch your videos if they don't think they're great, and if they're amazing, they're going to refer them over to you, and it'll be fantastic. So just start. That's my first tip for you. We are talking about video in general today. It doesn't have to be for YouTube specifically. We can be doing video on YouTube. You can do it on Facebook, Instagram, all sorts of social media, LinkedIn, all different platforms. You can use video as leverage for your business as well. So if you find yourself constantly giving buyers the same tips and information over and over as part of your buyer consultation process, make a video of you going over it, send that video to them. That'll save you that 15-minute conversation or however long it is. So tip one is to just start even before you're ready. Just start and start recording. My next tip for you is to actually commit to the journey. So this is a kind of a cool quote that I like. I think it applies well to video. So if you are faithful to what's in your hand, God will be faithful to what's in your heart. So if you're really, truly passionate about real estate or videos, you need to commit to the journey of doing the videos. If you do one or two today or this week, and then you don't do another one for a few months, that's not committing to the journey. Just like with real estate and lead generation, you have to be consistent. You need to be consistent with video if you want to see that take you anywhere with your marketing in your business. Questions about that? All right, we're gonna keep rocking and rolling then. I also want you to start with the end in mind. So if you guys have come to my marketing classes in the past, you've heard me say that it's really important that you always have your ideal client or your client or avatar or your target audience, all of those things in mind before you actually create any of your content. The same thing is true for video. You need to make sure that you are keeping in mind who your end user or viewer is before you even think about making a video, because you want to make sure that when you're talking to the person on the other side of that camera, that it's resonating with them. What's the point of making the video if somebody's just going to turn it off, right? So think about who you're talking to and what's interesting to them, what's intriguing to them, and then make your video based on that information. Any questions on that? No? All right. I have this kind of broken up in a couple of different sections. That first one was just like an intro to get started. So what are we going to do? We're going to hit record, right? You got to start before you're ready. The next few things I want to talk about are what to do before you even hit the record button, okay? A lot of people just go out and do lives, and that's absolutely great. If you are wanting to do something with a little bit more thought behind it, and maybe something that's a value piece, you want to think about what you're putting on film or, you know, digitally before you actually go and hit that record button. So we want to talk about content ideas. You want to think about what your clients are asking. So I had said, when you're talking about buyer's consultations, when I said maybe use that as a leverage piece for you, think about what frequently asked questions you're getting all the time. What are your clients' interests, right? What are some, I have my questions written on the other screen. That's why I'm looking this way. You guys know all my secrets now. What are your brand values, right? Are you local, or is it in education? What are things that you value as a brand that you connect with your clients on? Those could also be video topics. And then, of course, like I said, you want to stay in your niche. Riches are in the niches. Okay, why don't you guys go ahead and put in the chat real quick, what is one of your niches as an agent? What do you focus on? I see Darlene on here. I know she works with seniors a lot. So what's one of your niches? Let me know. So by coming up with this content ahead of time, it's going to help you stay on task with what you're talking about, and it will help you keep your video focused. I see we have, oh, historic homes, 55 and up. I haven't heard historic homes recently, Ken. That's a cool little niche. So what you guys want to do is go and just search Google or YouTube and start searching as a consumer would search. So if I'm a consumer and I'm looking for a historic home and I go on Google or YouTube to find videos on it, what am I searching for? And you'll start to see that Google or YouTube will automatically start populating the end of those questions for you, so you can see what frequently asked questions are, and you can make a video on that topic to fill the need for that. My next tip for you before you film is where and when to use videos. So we talked about this a little bit at the beginning. I had said you can use it in your business, use it as leverage, right? You can also use it as lead gen. And of course, you can use it to help with branding. So those are a few different things. You want to make sure you know what you're using the video for and who you are targeting with that video before you make it. So have all of that in mind before you hit that record button. Any questions on this so far? Oh, I see new construction, first-time home buyers. Those are great niches. Questions on anything we've covered yet? No, nothing's coming in.
Amy, you said you can use video for, I know, several different things, but you said branding, lead generation, and what was the other one?
Oh, your consultations, leverage, communication with your clients. So an example for that would be, like I said at the beginning, if you have you're doing a buyer consultation and you know that before you actually sit down with the person, you know that they're already going to have all these questions because you get those questions every time you talk to a buyer. Send them a video ahead of time to prep them with that information so that you can really utilize your face-to-face time with things that is specific to them and not necessarily something that you're going to be able to provide every single person with the same information. Does that make sense?
It does. Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, my pleasure. Ooh, Neil, that's a whole other question. As a new agent, how do you find your niche? You figure out what you're passionate about is where you're going to start. You'll start to see as you're doing different transactions what things stick out to you and what you enjoy more and what you enjoy less. So stop doing the stuff you don't like, because you want to get to the point where you can say thank you, no, and pass the client on to somebody else for a referral so that you can work with somebody that you truly identify with more. You know, you vibe with them and you're going to have a better experience with them. So it will take a little bit of time, but if there's something you're passionate about, you're just going to kind of go that direction. So like I really think that it's important to you know, be environmentally friendly. So if I was licensed as an agent, I would probably go get my, I don't even know the thing, Green Pro, is that something? I would go get that accreditation and I would work you know, towards that in my business. And that's something that I'm passionate about outside of real estate that I could bring into a real estate business. So think about stuff like that. All right, so what do we have next? Before you film, you want to think about camera confidence. So I know some people are just afraid to get in front of the camera, right? Anybody here afraid to get in front of the camera? I see we have lots of cameras on today. Thank you guys for doing that. That's great for a video class. What do you think could help you gain more confidence on camera? How does a baseball player get better at hitting more balls?
Practice.
Practice. They take more at-bats, right? The more you get in front of the camera, the more confidence you're going to have. Practice in front of a mirror. Practice in front of the camera. You don't have to go live. Just practice doing the selfie video on your phone for yourself, right? So that's really going to help. And then another couple things you can do is make an outline or a script, which I told you I have my notes on the other page, so I don't forget what I want to talk about with you. Once you have the topic you want to talk about, just do a little outline. You can do a script, but you're going to kind of end up looking like you're looking at paper the whole time. So if you know your topic, doing an outline is more than enough for you to just keep you on pace with what you want to talk about. So practice and have some sort of outline. Just think it through a little bit before you go live with that record button. All right. Any questions about before we go live, before we record? Not yet. Okay, perfect. Then I want to talk to you guys a little bit about video quality, because I know this is a spot that a lot of people get hung up on, and I don't want you to. I told you that all you need to start is your phone, right? If you have a video phone, smartphone, you can record on there. Lighting and sound are things that people are like, well, what kind of lights do I want? What kind of mics do I want? All that kind of stuff, right? What I want you to do, like I said, is start with what you have first. So start with that phone. If you have some lights at home, ladies, if you've got those makeup mirrors with the big lights on it, go ahead and use those. If you like taking selfies before and you had a selfie light, use that. Don't go out and buy anything new. You got to do red light, green light, right? Does everybody know what I'm talking about when I say that? Don't be spending money until you're making money, right? That's the short end of that. So let's see. So what I'm going to go into next with you guys is to let you know that of lighting and sound, if you really do feel like you need to up your game with one of those, and especially for people that are already shooting videos, if you are ready to invest into lights or sound, always, always, always make sure your sound is on point before you ever worry about lights. People will watch a video that they can't really see what's going on, or if it's shadowy or something like that. People will not watch a video if they can't hear what's happening. So invest in a microphone before you invest in any lights. Questions about that? Real quick, I want to let you know that you can do fun things like stand in front of a window to get some good lighting. That's free. You want the window to be in front of you. So you don't want to be backlit, you want to be front lit for that nice light from the windows. For sounds, if you're in a big room and it's kind of echoey, you can add some towels or blankets around the room to absorb that, to give you a better sound quality. And then of course you can always shut doors, stuff like that. So those are a couple of little tricks you can do for free. However, if you are ready to buy some gear, I have some suggestions for you. You can get a ring light for your lighting fixtures, and you can just put that right behind your camera. There's some that clip right onto computers or onto phones if you're filming with a cell phone. You can get a lapel mic, so one of those little ones that just clips onto like your shirt or your collar or something. There's even mics that you can plug into the bottom of your phone that will have a little cord and clip onto your collar as well. And those you can get on Amazon for like 20 to 50 bucks if you just want a little guy like that. The other thing I do think is great, especially for agents, is a gimbal. So that one's going to be a little bit more money than those other pieces. However, if you're doing home tours or town tours, or you're moving around with your video or your phone, having that gimbal will help keep it nice and smooth so you don't get like the Blair Witch Project feel. You guys all know what I'm talking about. I see Jackie laughing. She knows what I'm talking about. So those are some good starter gear suggestions when you're ready for that. Is anybody on here already using video in your business? Go ahead and put that in the chat so I can see that too. Nothing yet? Everybody just starting out. Oh, we are Kelly and Justin. Yay, Darlene. Okay, everybody's using it looks like there's a lot of people doing it. I've done one. Well, you started, Robin. That's the best part. You already started. So now you just got to do another. The hardest part is out of the way. So congratulations to everybody that's already started. I love that. All right. So Oh, I went a little out of order here. I skipped it. Oh, no, I didn't. Just kidding. I thought I skipped a slide. I'm sorry. Some of my resources I have for you for editing, so apps and programs here. Once you do have your video, when you're in post-production, we'll say, there's different things you can do to kind of boost up the quality. So some of the apps you can use, if you have an Apple product, you can use iMovie to edit your videos. Adobe is something that a lot of people have, the Adobe Pro program. There are video editing features of that. So if you already have that system, then you don't have to pay extra to use the video editing component of it. iMovie comes on your phone and your Apple products. Video Shop is an app you can use. Video Shop, one word. And Lumen 5 as well. There's some good video editing apps, and some of them you can use on your phone, some are computer based. So just depending on where you want to do that editing, make sure you pick the right program for you. Some other apps that I know a lot of people like to use are for when you are doing things on YouTube, you want to make a thumbnail to kind of advertise what that video is, so you're not frozen on camera, like, right? You ever go to YouTube and you are looking for a video and you're like, this has a great title, and you go to click on it and you just see somebody's face like all funky. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So you want to put a thumbnail so you're not frozen forever on YouTube like that. So you can use something like Designs right inside Command. You can use Canva, whatever your favorite, digital creation, digital content creation generator is. You can go ahead and use that. So don't pay for something extra. Just use something that's out there. Questions about editing apps, programs like that so far? I know I get a lot of questions here typically, so I'm going to pause for a second. Michael says he doesn't click on those funny faces. Yeah, they're not using YouTube thumbnails, so make sure you're doing that. Sally said, do earpods mic help or not so much? They do, Sally, that's a good question. So if you have like earbuds or any earpods that have mics built into it that you use for your phone, that will help with the mic quality for your videos as well. And a lot of webcams have microphones built in, so that's perfect. You can use that unless you have an issue with it. If you guys go back to some of my older videos on my channel, you'll see, or you'll hear that there's like a metallic ringing in it. My mic went out in my webcam, so I went and bought a microphone, but that's why, because I, invested in the gear for that. Kelly had a question. How long would you recommend the videos last for? How many minutes? That's a good question. This is going to depend on a few things. One is, again, your target audience, not just the people, but the place. For example, Instagram, not the stories or Instagram's IGTV, but Instagram itself, you can only do a 60-second video. IGTV, you can go longer. So you want to keep that in mind wherever it's going. However, if you're doing something that's a little longer form content, you want to make it as long as it has to be to cover the content. However, as short as you can make it without rambling, just going on and doing all the, oh, and I remember we didn't talk about this, so let's talk about that. And oh, that makes me think of this. You don't want to do that. Keep it to the point, make it as long as it needs to be so that it's still engaging and interesting, and then cut it off when it's done. Did that help? Perfect. Okay. My next video resources tip for you is that extra touch. So, oh, wait, I have one more question came in. Leave the people wanting more. Yes, Patty, exactly. Leave them wanting more. That's perfect. That's a great way to put it for how long to make that video. So some more resources I have for you, that extra touch, that cherry on top, are things like adding music after the fact. You want to make sure it's safe music, something like a logo splash, or your intro or outro scenes that come up onto them. So what I'm talking about when I say those things is like safe music. Depending on where you're putting your video, well, not depending where, I guess anytime you're using music in a video, you have to be conscious of copyright, right? So if you guys are thinking of adding music to videos, you're probably going to have to invest it financially into that music, whether you're purchasing copyrights or you're using something like Epic Sound. That's a good website that's out there that you can get music for videos. Some things some of those video editors I had mentioned earlier will have music that's included in those programs. Just be aware, like Lady Gaga that I played this morning, I can't have that on YouTube because I don't own the rights to that. So I'll cut all of that out before I put this video on my YouTube channel. So just keep that in mind when if you're adding music to the background of anything. Things like logo splash or your intro or outro. Has anybody ever gone on YouTube and they click a video and they've got like a cool screen that slides in and then the logo pops up and then there's some fun text on it? I see some head nods. That's a logo splash, right? So there's that. And then there's also intro or outro things. So something where somebody's recorded a little snippet that they always have the same thing right at the beginning or right at the end, but they're not necessarily re-recording that every single time. Or it can be words that fly in. All of that stuff, you can check out a website called InVideo. They do have some free applications you can do, and they have a pro version. So InVideo you can check out, and they can help you with things like the logo splash in your intro and outros. Ken says he has a question. Oh.
So when I look at some of these videos, I see the types of music they use. I see the types of imaging they use. It might be a video clip of, you know, an actor or scene for a movie or blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Now there's huge copyright infringements, mm-hmm. right? How is it they're able to get away with that?
So things like that system that I mentioned, Epic Sound, they'll have libraries of clips of music or videos that you can add to yours. So you're paying for the service, which allows you to put it into your video.
Okay. Now, I had spoken to a intellectual property attorney about this because I've got an idea for a channel or a playlist within the whole thing. Yeah. And it was the use of other people's images. Okay. And he said, well, technically you need to get permission to use the photo or the image of whoever it is. And let's just say, so my one idea is to do short videos on, you know, famous people that were born in Michigan, for instance, and like not the ones everybody already knows. That's stupid. Like Dean Cain, the guy that played Superman in the Lewis and Clark TV series years ago. He was born in Mount Clemens, Michigan.
Okay.
And I asked him if I use an image of Dean Clark in the short video, could I be sued? He says, technically, yes. And then I said, okay, well, explain to me then how people are able to use still shots of like Leonardo DiCaprio with toasting the champagne glass and make a meme out of it.
Right.
Isn't that the same thing?
What did he say?
He says, well, technically, yes. So you either A, take the safe route, pay the money, get permission, or hope like hell they don't care. Exactly. Or so long as you're not gaining any monetary benefit from that.
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up. He's absolutely right. And especially, you know, I'm not an attorney. So if you guys have connections that are willing to talk to you about IP, intellectual property rights and rules and laws, absolutely go ahead and take advantage of that. But you're right. A lot of the stuff on YouTube, if somebody doesn't report it, then nobody's going to know, right? However, YouTube does listen to the music. So if there's music, that will get flagged right away. As far as pictures are going, I don't think that they're quite as on top of that. That doesn't mean they won't be down the line. And you want to consider that it's not just somebody's image, but if it's a photographer that's got their images out there that they sell, you have to be conscious of that as well, because that's, you know, could be stealing their work. So I think you bring up a great point with that as well.
Because I brought up the idea of the title for the video, What Superhero Came from Michigan? And
well, you could think of other ways, you know, to talk about obviously in this case it's Dean Cain, but whoever it is that you're talking about without showing a picture or maybe like a shaded something that looks similar or a sketch of it, you know, lots of different ways to work around that too.
What the attorney said is that the term superhero And the photo of Dean Cain in the costume is actually property of ABC. And he says they have got teams of people that scrub the internet
I bet they do.
for that stuff, and you will get a cease and desist letter. Like the late Prince, he had an army of people. Anytime someone used an image or a video or whatever he didn't authorize, that got taken down within 48 hours. I bet they were pit bulls on that.
I believe it. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna roll the dice and get the letter.
Too. And they worked hard to make that money, and it's not necessarily fair to make money off of somebody else's hard work, right, without their permission. So you definitely bring up a great point with that. Do we have any other questions about the IP or anything like that? No? Right. It is definitely, you guys, something you should be conscious about when you're making videos. I know, with real estate, we're not typically doing stuff that's with celebrities. So if you are doing something like that, or you're working with a local business, make sure you get, their permission to put them in your video.
Hey, Amy, I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a quick question. Do you think we should be doing daily videos every day? Is there a timing or like a time?
Again, it's all going to depend on your platform and your end goal. So I would say that for YouTube, no, you typically want to do one a week unless you have a specific plan and reason why you would be doing more, because you don't want your video to compete with your video. Right. So if you're putting them out too close together, it's going to get hard for YouTube to say, okay, watch this video of Darlene or with Darlene versus this video when they're coming out at the same time and they haven't had time to rank yet. But that's a good question. And again, if you're doing Facebook or like Instagram stories, Facebook stories, putting stuff on LinkedIn, that's totally different. You can do that more frequently. You can do multiple videos a day if you're just going live on social media and talking about it. But if you're doing like a produced video that you are going to be putting on YouTube, I would do about one a week.
Thank you.
Sure.
Amy, I had a quick question.
Yeah.
If I thought about doing like short interviews with like vendor partners. Would I do that? Would you suggest that that's done like directly through the source, like directly through Instagram, or would I record that like somewhere else and then post it?
Another great question. Again, it's all going to depend on your marketing plan. If you guys are really wanting to build up on YouTube, it's okay to do it off of YouTube. You can do YouTube lives just like you can do Facebook lives, but you can make it somewhere else and upload it to YouTube later. If you are wanting to grow your YouTube or your Instagram, well, then doing it there is probably a better platform to do it on. Start it where you want to grow the views, because those algorithms they want to promote their own content. So if you make something on YouTube and put the video in Facebook or Instagram, it's not going to get as much organic growth as if you filmed it in those platforms originally.
That's good information. And if I did it in, let's say, Instagram, is there a way, is there a way to edit, or it just go live?
Pretty sure it just goes live. There's some like, with stories, you can like add your stickers and stuff like that. But I've only ever done live stuff on Instagram, so I've never actually played around, to be 100% honest, with any editing with it. So if anybody has done editing with Instagram, feel free to chime in on that. One more, this is my last slide before my recap that I want to make sure I get to you guys, get this information to you, is one more set of resources that I have for you is actually use some tools that are going to help get you noticed. So I have a couple of free ones for you that I want you to write down. TubeBuddy here, and I'll just put this in the chat real quick. TubeBuddy, like YouTube Buddy, and vidIQ. Those are they both have free versions, and then you can upgrade to Pro. They will help you see what keywords are more popular, so that you know what to incorporate with your videos with the name, or if you're tagging them or putting them in the description. And once you do have videos posted on YouTube, these two will track your ranking and will show you what is performing well and what's not performing well. And if you go on YouTube, even if you're not putting your videos on YouTube, if you sign up for a free account with these guys, you can go on YouTube and check out other videos and get their stats and see what is working well for those videos, so you know what to incorporate into yours, even if you're not putting yours on YouTube. So TubeBuddy and vidIQ are great tools. Like I said, they do both have free basic accounts that you can take advantage of. And those were my resources for the day for you. And to recap everything, I want you to go and start now. Just hit that record button, okay? Make a plan. So make your little outline, think about who you're talking to, choose one thing to go with, and then go and lead with revenue. So don't go buying all this equipment if you're not ready for it. Use your phone, use the natural light, use your webcam, and just go hit record. You don't need a $2,000 camera to get started. You probably already got one in your pocket. That's what I got for you today. You guys have any other questions?
Yes, I may have a question.
Yeah.
I'm asking about like connect client communications or something like that. So we have like probably to download something for a Facebook post, probably. Where we can find those?
Wait, say that again. What is it that you're looking to put on?
Like,
for
you know the Keller Williams Connect? Yes, the Connect site.
Uh-huh.
There's like client communications.
Oh, okay. So that's, sorry, I thought you were looking for something specific in video. Give me 1 second. Does anybody have any other questions about the video for the class today? I don't want to have everybody hang around if.
Is there any like recorded? Because I missed the first 15 minutes. Is there any recording?
Yeah, so this class is recorded. Yeah, I'll say that again. I know some people hopped on after the fact. So you can go to the youtube.com/thesocialstack. I'll put my information in the chat again.
Okay, thank you.
And this will be up on Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Central. And if you're in the E2P market centers, it'll end up in our Google Drive as well. But yeah, all of my classes are always recorded, so you can find all the stuff we've done on there. So great question. Thanks for asking. But did anybody have any other questions about video in your business right now? No, okay, yes. Perfect. So
yes, Amy, I do.
Yes. Patty, go ahead.
When you were talking about looking at other people's stats, am I understanding it right? So if there's someone you admire the type of videos and things they're putting out, you can look at what's working for them and then use that for yourself. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. So if somebody has a video on a topic that you were thinking of doing, you can see what keywords they're using, what tags, their description, all that type of stuff. And you can make sure that you're using that type of information in your video as well, and to help get your video ranked higher so that you pop up in searches on YouTube, or like I'm starting to show up on Google now too, and people are searching for me. So you can get all that information from those different sites I referred to you.
Okay, thank you.
And in IN video was the one for the splashes, the logo splash, intro, outro. Good question. Thanks for asking. R&D, Kelly. Yes, you are right. Definitely see what's working for others. And if nobody has made a video on it, well, then you found a hole that needs filling. So good job. All right, you guys, I'll be back next Wednesday, and I'm gonna just stop recording real quick. So thanks for watching, and I think that's all I have to say to YouTube today. Thanks for watching. Oh, I will put some links in the YouTube video with suggestions to gear and these different sites we talked about. So check the video description to get that information as well. But thanks for watching, and we'll be back next week with Smart Plan.